friends. I am Professor S.R. Shinde from Kekewa College of Agriculture Business Management, Nashik. Today we are going to discuss on very important topic, that is integrated nutrient management. So let's see. Integrated nutrient management is shortly called as INM. So what is meant by integrated nutrient management? Integrated nutrient management is the system approach and gives equal emphasis to use of chemicals, fertilizers, some biological resources like biofertilizers, natural resources and system of nutrient, and enhancing soil fertility or regenerating cropping systems. There are three terminologies which conveys the same meaning, that are integrated plant nutrition system, that is IPNS, then integrated plant nutrition supply system, IPNSS, and last one is integrated nutrient management, that is INM. Let's see the advantages of INM. Integrated nutrient management enhances the availability of applied as well as native soil nutrients. It synchronizes the nutrient demand with the native supply from native and applied sources. Then it provides balanced nutrition to the crops. Then it improves and sustains the physical, chemical and biological functioning of soil. It minimizes the deterioration of soil, water and ecosystem by promoting carbon sequestration. It also reducing nutrient losses to ground surface, water bodies and atmosphere. It also minimizes the antagonistic effects resulting from hidden deficiency and nutrient imbalance. Let's see the components of INM. So one by one, first is on-site nutrient resource generation. Under that, crop residues, legumes, green manuring. Next is mobilization of site resources. Under that, there are two types that are bioorganic waste and biological organisms. Under bioorganic waste, like compost, farm-aid manure, sewage and agro-industrial waste. And under biological organisms, that are like BGA, that is blue-green algae, then Azolla, Azotobacter, Azospirillum and Rhizobium. Next component of INM is mineral resources like synthetic and mineral fertilizers, then gypsum and dolomite itself. Let's see the components in detail. So first one is on-site nutrient resource generation. Under that, crop residues. So the crop residues are the materials left after the harvesting of crop and byproduct of agricultural based industry. There are two types, field residues and process residues. So field residues are materials left in an agricultural field or orchard after the crop has been harvested, and process residues means process residues are those materials which are left after the processing of the crop into a unusable resource. Here we can see different images of legumes like Sesbania, Crotalaria and cowpea. Then next is green manure. So green undecomposed material used as manure is called as green manure, and crops grown for green manure are known as green manure crops. So some green manuring crops are given below. Before that, we are going to discuss about types of green manuring. There are two types, green manuring in situ and green leaf manuring. So some crops are given below with their scientific name and their nutrient content, that is percent nitrogen, percent phosphorus and percent potassium. Second component of INM is mobilization of site resources. Under that, bioorganic waste and biological organisms. So let's see bioorganic waste. In that, first one is compost. So compost is the bulky organic manure which is obtained as a result of decomposition of farm or town waste in the absence of cattle excreta. That is called as compost. There are different types of compost like farm compost, rural compost, super digested compost, urban compost and town compost. Next is farm-aid manure, that is FYM. It is a traditional manure which is the decomposed mixture of dung and urine of farm animals. Then the waste material of cattle shed is collected daily and placed in the trenches. This is simple method or steps how we can prepare the farm-aid manure. Then after collecting the daily waste material from farm animals, and we can place that in trenches, then the top of the heap is to be made dome shaped and plastered over with cow dung and earth slurry, and then within 3 to 4 months we can get the farm-made manure and easily apply to the farm. Let's see the biological organisms. First one is blue-green algae. It is suitable nitrogen fixer for paddy soils and fixes about 25 kg nitrogen per hectare per year. It also releases the amino acids in soil. It brings the insoluble phosphate to the available form of plant, and it also makes the plant hormone like auxin, indolacetic acid, gibberellic acid, etc. Next microorganism is azolla, which fixes about 30 to 40 kg nitrogen per hectare per year and increases the organic matter content on field and thereby improves the soil texture, structure and water holding capacity. There is leaching loss. It releases the plant nutrients slowly like slow releasing fertilizers. Then weed infestation is less when azolla is grown as a dual crop. Next biological organism is Azotobacter, which is heterotrophic, free-living, nitrogen-fixing bacteria, mostly present in neutral and alkaline soils. Its ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen is about 20 to 40 kg nitrogen per hectare, and it is basically recommended for crops like rice, wheat, millets, some cereal crops, then cotton, some vegetables, sunflower, mustard and flowers, different type of flowers, etc. Next organism is Azospirillum. This is a free-living or non-symbiotic bacteria, means does not form nodules but makes association by living in the rhizosphere. Increased mineral and water uptake, then root development and vegetative growth, crop yield is due to Azospirillum. Then inoculation reduced the use of chemical fertilizers, that is 20 to 50% or 20 to 40 kg nitrogen per hectare. Next organism is Rhizobium. It is a root nodule bacterium and has the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen in symbiotic association with host legumes. It was estimated that a total of 175 million metric tons of nitrogen is fixed per year through Rhizobium. Then last component of integrated nutrient management is mineral resources. Under that, synthetic and mineral fertilizers. So fertilizers can be defined as a mined, refined or manufactured product containing one or more essential plant nutrients in available or potentially available forms and in commercially valuable amounts without carrying any harmful substance above permissible limits. Many prefixes such as synthetic, mineral, inorganic, artificial or chemical are often used to describe the fertilizers. Next mineral resource is gypsum. So gypsum types and use of soil conditioners or amendments under integrated nutrient management, which lowers the bulk compactness of soil and prevents water runoff and eroding better soil composition. It affords root growth and air and water movement and converts salty soils. So this is about integrated nutrient management and its different components. So I hope you like this video. Thank you.